So hi everyone, my name's Rachel. For the past maybe 5-ish years, I've been focusing on this style of painting that uses the sharp lines and focuses mostly on triangle scenes and configurations. And the main reason for that is I've really kind of wanted to express determination and perseverance and getting through struggles that are in a calm, quiet way, but also in an aggressive kind of strong way as well. So the triangle shapes really suit that, and the hard lines kind of are part of my personality, where I just kind of obsessively focus on getting something exact, because I used to be mostly focused on realism. So I'd look at a photo and try to get it exact as I could, but I had trouble finding expression in that type of art. For me, myself, I'd get too focused on the reference image and not enough on getting the painting to say something more in my feelings and experiences and all that. So this is kind of where I've ended up over the past few years. And for this show in specific, I wanted to go for this monochrome, very low contrast look. And I wanted to focus the feeling on kind of that moment when you're lost and not sure where to go, you're feeling lack of confidence, but you find that little something where it's that moment where you're turning on and focused and headed towards making a decision and kind of taking control. So that's the reasoning for the low contrast, going from that situation to like, okay, we're going to this this place. So I guess I'd like to open it up to questions. That's a little easier to go back and forth if anyone has any observations, questions, and all that. Because, well, triangles are very strong, aggressive shape, which I like to focus on. It's kind of almost like my goal for myself. You know, I want to go after things because I'm kind of a shy, reserved, not very bold person. So in my artwork, I want to kind of keep reminding myself to push and have that strength. So that's where the triangles come in for me. I'm very meticulous in planning. It usually starts out with a sketch, just pencil drawing these and figuring out the lines that intersect in an interesting way that's not overly chaotic and not too simple where it's not interesting. So it starts off with a sketch, and then I play around with values and not color in this one, but I will play around with color combinations. And then I measure and make all my parallel lines. It's very exact and everything. And then I use tape, and I burnish it really well so it gets that nice crisp line. And then it's just simple washes of acrylic paint. And then I always touch up with the teeny tiny brush to get them really exact because I get obsessive, but yeah. Yes.
Have you ever attempted to do those in color?
Yes. I do work a lot in color. So this was kind of my reprieve of complete monochromatic collection, but I do work a lot in color too.
What kind of color?
I would say most of my work, it's colors that are a little bit more neutral with pops of bold, like primary colors. So my favorite colors to work with are the ones where I mix them and it's like, I don't know if that's blue or green or gray, like in different lights. It's like, that's a good color for me. And then piece them together. So I guess one thing with the gradations I have of the gray, it always amazes me. Like I feel like when I'm mixing the paint, like especially the darkest one, when I'm mixing it, it's like, that's still white. Like I didn't do anything. But then I get it down on the canvas and it's like, oh wow, maybe I could have gone lighter with that. Maybe it's even too dark. So it's always interesting when you get two colors next to each other. I'm always amazed how they impact each other, and even just a slight, couple drops of a tone into the same color, it'll completely set it apart, and it's just fun to notice those slight variations for me. I also love architecture and interior design, and I love the mountains too. So a lot of people say they see mountains, which they're not specifically mountains. I'm sure they have influence from mountains, but just kind of thinking about also like the feeling of space and an environment. Especially, I really love making the big paintings. You get in front of them, and it can be almost shadows. It can be like a blurred reflection almost, even though there's straight lines. Just thinking about space more than like I would never focus on figurative work just because I'm an introvert and I like spatial scenes and that sort of deal. But yeah, as you were saying with the 3D too, I really like, when I'm sketching, finding those instances where it's the small triangle kind of pushing through and being the star of the painting. And kind of like, are all the triangles moving together? Is it like one idea moving forward and these are the iterations left behind it? It's just kind of what goes in my head, I guess, that I like. No, I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to a lot of, or I watch a lot of garbage TV in the background just to have like noise going on that I don't really care to sing along to or watch. I just to have something going on where I can have something in the background where I don't get too focused, or I don't know. My husband always makes fun of me because I will paint over a section and redo a painting and change this and change this and change this, and he just says, "Let it go, move on." There aren't exactly 30, 60, 90, but in the past year, I've kind of kept with the same angles in my paintings. I used to kind of just do it however I felt and how the sketches came out, but I've restricted and focused to these angles. I really like the intense pointiness of them. I think that adds to the excitement, and I don't want to say aggression, but I guess excitement is the right word. They're pointy, they're almost dangerous, almost like teeth or knives, but it's not about that. But it's about that excitement and intensity, and yeah, and then the slant on the bottom's just kind of like, I feel like gives a good gradation of the movement I'm trying to create in each one. Yeah, well, so in general, this whole collection, again, is focused on that one central theme. Um, and then when I've been making each composition, I kind of let it go where it goes and where it looks good in my mind, and trying to create I'll put dark here, but it needs a light here, and then to balance it, I'll put light here, and then the medium tones elsewhere and everything. And then after it's done is when, excuse me, I make the titles and kind of like look at, okay, what did I do and why? Kind of thinking like, okay, where was I in my headspace to make this the dark shape and make the light coming through this way and go from there. I usually just start working. A lot of times it'll be I've got like all my mixed paint chips that I have sitting around, and okay, I've picked 5, 6 colors that kind of are calling to me, or sometimes it'll be like, okay, I haven't used red very much. I don't use red very much in my paintings, so it's like, let's make a painting that has this red in it, and I'll build a color palette, and then build the composition, and then from there it's like, it always comes out on the feeling I'm trying to make, or like always that determination and something where it makes the movement and excitement. So I usually get things done, and then it's like, okay, backtracking, what was I thinking, what was I wanting. So it's kind of analyzing what I was doing myself. But, well, that's always so tough because, well, my favorite painter of all time is Vincent van Gogh, because he was he was just a bit of a tortured soul, but he pushed through so hard. Like, I find that so inspiring to just keep going. And similarly, like with this style of work, it took me a while to, I guess, have the courage of, saying this is the style of art that I do. This is what I like, because I guess I felt a lot of pressure that if people didn't understand abstract art or didn't understand that, okay, if it doesn't look exactly like a photograph, then you're not a good artist. So I guess from Van Gogh, I took that like perseverance and everything like that. I guess another artist is not Kandinsky. I'm forgetting his name, but there are the artists who do the simple colors. I do find influence. I more feel, I guess, that power that this can be accepted in everything again. But I feel like my work is also very different from a lot of abstract artists as well, just in the motivations and desires behind it. But great. Well, thank you, everyone.